This story starts with a servant who begins working at a rich man's house and soon gets involved with the man's wife. But when the husband finds out, things take a wild turn. What happens between the three of them and who the wife ends up with won't be revealed until the end. The story kicks off with a wealthy guy named Will, who lives in a huge fancy mansion with his wife, Ramona. Will's crazy rich, like so rich he even hired cops to watch over his place. On this day, a new servant is about to arrive. The servant, Simu, is on the way to the mansion with Officer James and a couple of James' friends. Simu looks super nervous because it's his first time working for someone like this. James is driving and chatting away with his partner, while a woman named Mona, sitting right next to Simu, starts flirting with him. She casually puts her hand on his arm, trying to get him to loosen up and respond, but Simu's too scared to say a word. Mona smiles and runs her hand over him teasingly, enjoying how flustered he is, while James and the others in the front seat have no clue what's going on. Eventually, again as her driver. In the final scene, Ramona remembers Simu and starts crying. Holding his handkerchief, she breaks down in tears. That's where the story ends.